everybody, and welcome back to another 6-scale figure review with me, your host, That Metro Mania. And today we finally have the DX26, which is Kenobi from the Kenobi series. I've been looking forward to this one forever. It's been on my Christmas wish list, and obviously Santa is here to deliver. I'm quite happy to say he's finally in the house. Well, he's been in the house for a little bit, but I've kind of prioritized a few other things. But here he is, and here's the box. Pretty straightforward Star Wars box. You know, picture on the front, a little bit of picture on the bottom there. Just normal Star Wars boxes. Star Wars boxes have never changed. There's no crazy designs on them. It's just exactly what you need to see and nothing else. So, why don't we get Kenobi out of the box and onto the spinning turntable here. See how he looks. So I do have to say, overall, I cannot believe that the Obi Wan is the last figure to get released from this series, since his name is on the title. But I'm quite happy with it. I don't know how much of a fan I am of the gray Jedi robe, but that dark brown, like, tunic kind of thing going on with the hood definitely helps a little bit more. I think I prefer it with it on than I do with it off, because when it's off, there's no color contrast. It's all gray, so it's not really speaking to me as much. I just think that little bit of brown definitely adds to it. Obviously, it's not for everybody, but I think it definitely helps me a little bit more. That's just one of many, many accessories, which we will talk about here in 1 second. But I do have to say, I'm actually quite impressed that I didn't notice that there is still a little tab in his hair. I've had this guy standing on my desk for at least a week now, and I just didn't even notice. But how about we take that out and take him off of the spinning turntable here so we can talk about Master Kenobi. So Obi-Wan does come with a good little bit of stuff. Obviously, like you saw previously, he's got the extra robe bits to go over it. Add a little bit of brown in case you wanted a little bit of brown. I hit my camera. I hate hitting my camera. He's got 3 different sets of nice looking rock formations. All gray rocks. This is so you can recreate the scene of him lifting rocks so he can hurl them at Vader and make him feel like shit. 3rd pair of rocks. They do all have little plug holes here, which you can put these little doodads in here, and they just go on the translucent pole that holds him up. Obi-Wan, just like everyone else, also now comes with separate eyeballs, so you can move them around to your heart's content. He has his lightsaber, with or without blade. Does look quite nice overall. I like the painting on it. It's pretty much identical to his other from the Clone Wars one. We've got the blade, obviously. We have, if I could actually get it, we have a hologram projector with a hologram of Senator Bail Organa, in case you really, really wanted a Senator Bail Organa hologram. Always a fun one. We've got our swishing lightsaber blade, which has been the same forever now. There is a bit of a color, like there's less color up, there's less blue up here than there's here, which is kind of cool. We've got our wired lightsaber, which, you know, we all know how these work by now. Kind of mediocre light at the end of the tunnel. We've got the pistol he uses, which goes against everything Obi-Wan should believe in. I cannot believe he used a gun in this show. And then a special little side accessory. We've got the little Lola droid, which, I mean, you could do whatever you want with this thing, man. It's just a little disc. Kenobi is going to play Kenobi Frisbee. So, unlike the Clone Wars sculpt, this sculpt's got a bit more going for it. I don't mind the Clone Wars sculpt. but it's got like the huge bug eyes, like I said, and it really, because his facial hair is not as thick, the mouth sucking in thing looks even worse. It looks a little bit better here. It looks just more like his mouth is open. But the Clone Wars one has just like the bug eyes problem. This one, his eyes are a little bit more closed. He's got a little bit more focus to his look. They've definitely gotten better. It's a shame that somebody like the Clone Wars Obi-Wan, which is what I've been waiting for forever, got the experimental phase. But I really like the way that this has turned out. It's not perfect per se, but it is a lot better than the prototype, which didn't look anything like him. The hair is super cool because it's like really, it's all over the place. Very rare you get a hair like this because you can see like the individual strands there. It just looks really nice. It's really well done. So I'm happy about that. I am curious to see, however, if you can do this real quick. Oh, that's definitely not happening. Maybe. So in case you wanted that, that's what that would look like. And in case you were really curious about the other way around, it actually kind of, you could almost get like a 2003 Clone Wars thing going on here, which kind of looks interesting per se. I'd actually be half tempted to keep something like this if I had the opportunity to. I love a more regular sculpt, but that is super cool actually now that I've done some investigating on it. But just like every other 6 scale head sculpt, it has this ugly neck piece that I don't like. But the sculpt is really nice overall, and I'm quite happy with it. A little bit more than I am about the Clone Wars one, which again, definitely disappointed me to say the least. I don't hate him, I just find it hard to love him, which is probably even worse to say. The rest of the outfit is gray. It is just, I mean, it's just gray. There's a bit of like a whitish bone, like not bone, like a grayish white in the back, but everything is just, it kind of looks like a couch in a boring person's house. Just like that ugly gray color. I get why he has the gray, but like, man, is it boring. It just doesn't scream Obi-Wan. It's just regular Jedi robes, but like ugly gray. It's got nice, nice tailoring to it. The belt's pretty straightforward. He's got his pouch on the side, the means to hold his lightsaber here, and then the connecting bit here. But that's the only color breakup. After that, it's just all gray. Until you get to the pants, which are finally some brown. And the boots are all one piece, which is a real shame. Because I feel like these could have been split cut, but they just went with a solid one piece. Because whatever. So you end up missing out on, some of that articulation. Which is, a shame. But there's only so much you can do. The way to fight the gray is to add this beautiful brown, beautiful dirt brown extra robe piece, which he takes off. But it definitely helps to, just break up that color a bit. Because then it's not just all gray. There is at least another dark color there to help alleviate some of those problems. This is the prefer, like I said, this is what I prefer when you get it to sit right. There is some loose wiring in there, I believe, so it kind of wants to fight a little bit. But just having that little bit of gray just helps to break it up just that little bit, where I'm happy enough with it, where I'm not like, oh my god, boring color. Anyway, speaking of color, let's bring out the least colorful thing I know. The Kenobi Vader, which is all black. Which isn't bad, because I really like that figure. There is a drastic drastic size difference between the two of these. Vader is towering over Kenobi here. I don't remember him being this tall. Like, he's tall. Well, like, that's really tall. I mean, I don't know how Obi-Wan beat this guy. This guy should have, like, murdered him. He's got the height. He's got the robot muscles. He's got the evil force. I just feel like Obi-Wan should have gotten his face, his hair used as a mop on Death Star level 35 with the way Darth Vader should have rolled him. I love the way these two look next to each other, and they're going to look great in the display once I finally get them both set up together. I do need to fix Vader's appearance or his pose a little bit, but I think if I can get them in a nice pose with each other, I'll be quite happy. We'll just have to see how that goes. But for now, let's get tall Vader out of here and bring out the Clone Wars series Kenobi so we can see those guys officially side by side. So obviously you could see the same like basic starting point, but there's just like slight differences between the two that definitely help one over the other. You know, the Kenobi series one has more hair, so his hair looks a little bit more, covers a bit more. The Clone Wars one has this weird haircut. And again, the bug eyes thing, where it looks a little bit better on this one. His head looks a little bit more like his eyes are a bit more closed as opposed to this one, which from the front just looks like he's surprised, like he's shocked to see you, and his eyes are popping out of his head. Outfits, as is obvious, are going to be drastically different. They are two different things going on. I do wish I had a Revenge of the Sith Kenobi to go in the middle here. Maybe an old Ben Kenobi, but maybe one day I'll have a bit more Obi-Wan in my collection. But for now, it's nice to finally have two. Even if one isn't the best in the world, he's still special boy in my heart. Now, let's take new special boy, and see how well he articulates. So, like normal, life ending 360 degrees. Just be careful of the plastic in there. The head goes up, not really. It goes down, not really. Back and forth a little bit. You get arm out to there. Arm goes up that far. Arm goes back that far. Actually, a little bit more. You get a solid elbow bend. Let's see, get the arm back into place. Some crunch action up and back. Not much of a spread. Leg goes up that far, and leg doesn't go back at all. But you get some nice knee bend, and like I said, all solid, so you're not getting any articulation out of that bad boy. But as long as you have him on a stand or something that'll hold him up, he should stand fine, unless you can stand him flat or straight flat, then he should also be fine. But why don't we take him now to be fined at the end of the video? So here he is, Obi-Wan, making all the rocks float in front of or behind him. It does look a little bit weird because the rocks kind of sit a little too close for him. So if you have him on the base itself, you can't really see them. I think the connector pieces should have been a little bit longer so you can actually see the rocks behind him. But I like the gimmick of it. I think it's fun. It's a nice little added accessory. So you can have something like this. And I like that they gave him the weird, the lightsaber holding hand, despite it kind of looking a little awkward at the same time. I think it's a fun little thing. I'm glad that they give you the option to do something like this, because it definitely adds that little bit extra, not playability, but like posability to it. I don't see many people like having this be the be-all end-all, because again, it does look a little awkward. They'll probably have him posed with Vader in some way, shape, or form, but I could definitely see people posing it with this, because it does, it does look fun. It's cool. Depends on how much space you have, really. If you just have this guy by himself on a D12, this might be the pose you go with. I have no clue what pose I'm gonna go with, so I'm just talking to talk. But anyway, if you picked up this guy, feel free to let me know how you feel about it. Is this your favorite Kenobi? How does he tier on the list of your Kenobis? Is he at the top? Is he at the bottom? Is he somewhere awkwardly in the middle? Which one is your favorite Kenobi if this guy isn't your favorite? Feel free to let me know all of this stuff and more in the comments. So I know this guy is pretty good. He's up there. He's probably my favorite of the two currently because he's got more going on. I think the sculpt is better than the other one. As much as I don't like the gray, at least, there's some good stuff going on here. And the accessories are really fun. This guy's got a lot going for him, and I'm quite happy about it. Because he deserves it, especially after that really, really rough early prototype. Hoping we get another Revenge of the Sith one to go with that Grievous soon. But we'll just have to wait and see. But for now, what you don't have to wait for is to like and subscribe. That is an instant thing you can do. And, if you enjoyed the video, please feel free to do either of those things. Like, subscribe, comment, share it with your grandma. I don't care. Just do something, because the channel's been doing really nice recently. And I'd love to keep that momentum going. And I want to make sure that when I'm doing the stuff that I'm enjoying, that you guys are enjoying it just as much. So just, to like a video just shows me that I'm doing it right and that you guys want me to keep it going. Because I've been having the time of my life making it. And you guys definitely make this much more worthwhile overall. And with all of that out of the way, I've been me, and you've been you, and thank you for watching another 6-scale figure review. Hopefully you join me when we review something maybe new. I will see you then.